Hey everyone, welcome back to Honest Bee by G. I'm G, we review everything eco-friendly and cruelty-free, and today we're going to talk about what you should and what you shouldn't get at the Sephora VIB sale this spring. Alright, it is Sephora's annual VIB sale where Rouge members can get up to 20% off, and then we go down to, I believe, 10% off for the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to tell you what you should and should not be buying this sale round. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit about what's in my basket and what I'm hoping to try new for this sale. I'm going to start off by doing makeup. Then we're going to go on to what I wouldn't suggest that you buy, and then I'm going to tell you what is in my basket right now. So moving on to makeup, I'm just going to go step by step in order of at least how I do my routine. So starting off, I really like the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip primer. There are a couple other primers that I like, but I'd say if you had to choose one, this is my favorite. I like the way that it feels when it goes on your face. I like the way that the makeup sticks to it. And I just think it's one of Milk's best products by far. For foundations, I couldn't choose just one, so I have 4. Just because each one's a little bit different, it's kind of hard to pick just one. So I'm gonna start by lowest coverage to more full coverage. Coming in at probably a more medium coverage and a dewy look is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. I really love this for a nice natural look. I think this is really beautiful for incredibly healthy, dewy looking skin. It's got skincare-like ingredients, as pretty much all of Ilia does, and I really enjoy this for a light to medium coverage look. On that, more of your tinted oil kind of feel is going to be the Tinted Face Oil from Kosas. It looks like this. Don't let the word tinted face oil trip you up. I think this has a decent amount of coverage. Like, it can work to pretty medium as long as you get the right shade. This one's just a smidge darker for me, so if I have a fake tan on, it works. And it's once again going to be really dewy, just kind of like the Ilia one. So if you are super oily, you probably won't like this formula, but if you're normal combo to dry, I think that you should definitely give this a try. Going into the more medium buildable foundations is the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I have it in 2 different shades here. And the only reason I got 2 is because it's about half the price of other normal foundations. So it was $22 for a clean, cruelty-free vegan formula. And so I'm really loving LYS. You're going to see them on my list again. I really think this is a brand you should look into that's cruelty-free, all vegan, gluten-free, totally Honest Bee by G approved. I'm really, really loving this brand and how affordable it is. I really like its finish. I like the way that it sets on the skin. I like the way that it blends out, and I like how long it wears. I'd say it's more of a satin finish, and it just kind of looks like skin. When I want full glam, full coverage, I don't want to see any redness or any scars or anything, I go to the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid Foundation. This is another kind of one of those cult classics that people really love and adore. I've tried the stick, I didn't like it. I really like this formula for my more normal dry skin. The stick just felt really thick on my skin, and this has a really thin feel to it that kind of goes away. It's really powerful, and a little bit goes a long way. The one that feels the most like skin that I forget that I'm wearing foundation is definitely the LYS though. I put it on and it has a really weird feel at first, almost like a hybrid between a liquid and a powder, and then it just settles into my skin really beautifully. So if you had to take just one of these, I'd probably say the LYS because it is the best bang for your buck. And the other ones are a little bit more expensive, but I do think when you can get samples again, to try samples of the other ones to see which one fits your skin type the best. Okay, with concealer, I am one of the pickiest people I've ever met, and I also have incredibly dark hereditary under eyes. I've had them ever since I was a baby. They're never going anywhere. I'm just a permanent raccoon, and they're never going to completely go away, but the best formulation I have found so far is by far the Kosas concealers. I Really, really, really love these. I love the ingredients that are in them. I love the way that it sits on my skin, the way it blends out to my skin, and I think that the shade 02 is just my skin tone to a T. It's really perfect. I'm not into a super brightening concealer. I like it to match more of my skin tone because the brighter that it is, it makes it look really gray under my eyes. I can always go in with the brightening later. On Sephora, it says it's more medium coverage. I would say it's pretty full coverage, but it doesn't feel super thick. Like, in comparison, it doesn't feel as thick as something like the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. That, like, it almost makes my face crunchy. This feels really good, and it has, once again, skincare-like ingredients, so I think it's really healthy under the eyes. If you're not looking for something as full coverage and you want something that's more of a light to medium coverage, then the Milk Makeup or the Ilia True Serum, True Skin Serum Concealer is also a good option for you. These are just a little too thin for me and my skin, but they each play really nicely. So if you really like the Milk foundation, I personally think it blends really well when you add it with its counterpart concealer. Same with the Ilia, and this was Arrowroot. It's just way, way too light on me. Which was really shocking because most things are too dark because I'm very pale, so they made a shade even lighter, and just even with brightening it looks really silly. Maybe if it was in my right shade I might like this a little bit more, but I do think it plays very nicely with its foundation counterpart. So far I've used the Kosas with every single one of these foundations and it works beautifully. I'm gonna go on over to powders. So for loose setting powder, I like the LAWLESS Seal the Deal powder. This has been my favorite so far. Another cult classic is the Ilia loose setting powder, but I have not personally tried it again. That is next on my list, but this takes forever to go through. I've had this, it's got to be a good year now that I've had this product, and I'm still like not even halfway done with it, I swear. I don't use a lot of powder, but still, for loose talc-free formulas, which is the only ones that I'll use, I really do love this as a loose setting powder. If you want it in a compact, bringing back LYS, I really liked this loose setting powder, and they had, I think, a larger shade range, and this has almost like a small yellowy tint to it, and I'll just kind of take my beauty blender to it and dab it onto my face just a little bit under my eyes and a little on the sides of my nose where I get a little bit more shiny, and good to go. And it doesn't feel super cakey. It doesn't feel like I just have a ton of powder on my face the way some of those formulas can be, and it is also talc free, which is awesome. Moving on to bronzer, I'm going to give you 3 different bronzers. My first pick is the Kosas bronzer. Looks like this, and I have the shade Light, and when you look at it you're just gonna be like, that's a bronzer. And what I really love about this is it's got a slight sheen to it, but it's not shiny. It doesn't look like a highlight. And once again, I am wearing it now kind of in that shape of a 3 on my face, and when you want that super natural dewy sun-kissed glow, this shade is perfect for lighter skin tones. You don't need it to be super dark where it just, I don't know, it gives you like an orange look when you go too dark. So I do recommend this for a super soft, glowy look. When you want a little bit more edge, more like a contour bronzer, even though they're a little different. If we're still sticking with powder, I like the Ilia. It's a little bit dark for me, so I'll kind of just add it ever so slightly right here where I want just a little bit more definition, but I won't put it all over the face because I want it to stay a little bit more natural, not too dark, because I think it's still just a little bit dark for my skin tone. For a cream bronzer, I am going to go with another cult classic, which is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer. Don't know why they call it matte, because it's got more of a satiny finish, but I actually like this. First is I'll put it on, and then when I want to set it, I'll put a powder over it. And I think it looks really nice. But if you're really into all cream products and you just want something you can kind of put on with your finger and go, I think that this is really fantastic. It is, once again, just a little bit dark, so I won't put just a ton everywhere. I'd rather use this to give that real bronze glow and then sculpt more with this little guy. So next I'm going to move on to the cream blushes. So just like today, I'm wearing Kosas has this little cream blush and highlighter duo. And for my skin tone, I personally love all these kind of like terracotta orangey shades. And so I've really loved this. It's not too overbearing. It doesn't look like orange, but this is what's on my cheeks right now. If you like an incredibly minimalist approach and you still like cream blushes, I really love the Ilia Color Haze. And I have Temptation and Stutter here. And what's great about these is that you can use this on your cheeks, eyes, and lips. I actually really love these on the lips as well. I haven't really tried it on my eyes, but they say that you can. I like the way that they wear. I like the little metal tip on them that's kind of cool. Like cool to the touch if you put it on your face. They are a little bit more pricey for sure, but I do think a little bit goes a long way. When I want a powder blush to go either on top or I'm just not feeling cream products, I really want more of a matte look. There's nothing better than the talc-free Lawless formula. I absolutely love these blushes. I have 2 of them. So you can see a trend. I like one kind of pink, neutral pink, and then one with a little bit more orange in it. So just depending on the look, I believe I put a little bit of this one on, just a tiny bit over just to set the makeup and make sure that cream blush isn't going anywhere in this Florida heat. When it comes to highlighters, once again, I do like this duo. I like the highlight that comes with this. I think it's really subtle, and I like the way that it blends. It's not too pink and it's not too orangey looking, and as someone with very pale skin, I think it just looks really pretty and natural. For an incredibly natural, dewy look with no sparkle or glitter or anything like that, I'm really liking this new brand at Sephora called Say. And I got the mini version just to try this out because I wasn't sure. This product looked really different and original. And so I love when they offer mini versions, and I actually think this mini version will last me an extremely long time because a little bit goes a long way. I actually put this just a little bit on top of my cheeks for just it almost gives like a glisten. And you can see when the light hits it, there's no sparkle, there's no shine. So if that's something that you like and you want that really natural, super natural, no makeup look, or you want to put it as a little topper, just to boost it a little bit, I think that's a great product. If you do want something that really packs a punch and that is just like a bam highlight, I like the Milk Makeup Flex Highlight. And even though this looks like a powder, there is this almost like creaminess to the touch. I mean, and this just has like a full strobe effect. You can see how bright and shimmery that is. It's not really shimmery. It's almost more of a metallic than I would say glitter, because I just don't like it when it looks chunky glitter. Moving on. If you want a super minimalist approach to eyeshadow and you just want the absolute minimum basics all together in one palette, I think the Lawless, the little one, eyeshadow palette is really great. I think this is also great for traveling when we can travel, and it looks like this, and it really just has all your basics. I also really like this shade right here as a highlighter. It actually looks really pretty, so it's kind of a good multi-purpose. You got more your base colors. You can use this as an eyeliner, which is something I usually do a lot, and I just think it's really pretty warm toned colors that are all you really need for quite a few different looks. This is mainly what I used on my eyes today, was straight out of this small packet. If you really like the idea of the Lawless eyeshadows but you want more of a variety, this is the one. This is her main palette. So you're gonna get a little bit more of her cool tone pinks in there. You're gonna add this really pretty yellow shade, which, believe it or not, is a really pretty transition shade. A lot of people were kind of disappointed in this set because I think they saw the colors and were expecting like Anastasia Beverly Hills level Norvina palettes, and they see like this bright pink and they see this bright yellow and didn't like it because it doesn't show up very bright, and they said, oh well, the pigment's very pale, but that's kind of the point. This is for the person that doesn't want tons of bright colors but still wants a variety of shades. So when you look at something like Butterflies, which is this yellow color, it's actually a beautiful soft yellow that's a really good transition shade. Actually, one of my favorite shades is Complicated, and it looks kind of like this ugly khaki color, but it's actually really beautiful and is what I used on my eyes today, mixed with Feels. So you can see it's not a bright orange. Once again, it kind of just has that terracotta look. So if you really like warm tones, there's a little bit more of your neutral cool pink tones here, but I still think they're really beautiful. And if you want something with just a little bit more play, but you just want one set, I think this is a beautiful option. And none of the colors are super crazy bright. They're all meant to be a little bit more soft glam. This next brand is Aether Beauty, which I think also is a fantastic brand. I love that all the packaging is 100% made out of recyclable materials and is compostable. So for an eco-friendly and all ethically sourced palette, I think this is one of my go-tos. This is the Summer Solstice palette. I think it's really beautiful, warm tones. There's the Rose Quartz, which has more of your neutral and cool tone pinks and browns. If you want something a little bit more fun, the Joshua Tree palette is another good option, which is completely matte. Moving on to brows, I'm pretty picky and I don't like most products for brows. Sorry for the woof at the back, that was Pippa. So I am gonna stick with the classics. So the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz is my go-to to mainly draw in for the second half of my brows and go down to the tail. So I'll always do this. I kind of like the waxiness of it. And then my eyebrows are a little bit more thin when it comes to the center, so I really like the brow pen for a super natural fluffy look, which is really in right now. And I like it when they're nice and groomed up to just make a few little faux streaks, and that way I'm using a lot less product and it looks a lot more natural. It doesn't give you those like stamped on brow looks. So I really like a good setting spray, which is why I cannot rave enough about the Milk Hydrogrip setting spray. This stuff is the absolute best. I pretty much wear this every single day. This is my second bottle of this. I will keep restocking it for as long as they make it. I absolutely love this formula. It doesn't feel sticky. Some people say it feels some of the formulations feel like hairspray on their face, like it's just like tightening and gross and sticky. This is not like that at all. It quickly absorbs into the skin, holds your makeup in, and you can't feel it at all. So I really love that. I also love that it's just kind of a cooling sensation. Don't know why I'm talking so fast, but yeah, I really like this product. All right, instead of waiting till the very end, I'm gonna let you know right now my absolute favorite product that I've ever purchased, ever. And that is the LAWLESS Forget the Filler lip gloss. So this is like a lip plumper, but what makes it so different is it's hydrating, it's nourishing, it's using skincare-like ingredients again, and it's actually going to boost your own natural production of collagen that will make your lips not only look and feel bigger, but they will be bigger. I really love that it doesn't use a bunch of fake ingredients like peppermint oils that just give you that tingling sensation, but it's not actually doing anything. It's just a fake effect. This is actually doing something. I love the little doe foot applicator. So they did this really like exaggerated doe foot. Look at that. It's just like a hug for your lips. This should be like the #1 thing that you walk out of this video buying. Continuing my love affair with LAWLESS, her lipsticks are my absolute favorite. Her bullet lipsticks cannot be beat. This is the shade Fawn. This is what I used on my wedding day. That's how much I loved these. I think it's the most beautiful, perfect, neutral nude for lighter skin. And then I got this other shade that's a little bit more fun. It's called Baby, a little bit more pink. You see a theme with me with these like terracotta, not terracotta, but these like warmer shades, and then we go into like this like neutral pinky. I don't know what it is, but I have zero interest in trying another bullet lipstick ever again. Continuing with more LAWLESS is her lip glosses. I think these are some of the prettiest lip glosses. If I had to pick one shade, I think Manuka is the prettiest. It's kind of like a Your Lips But Better color, but it does have a more warm tone to it. This goes really beautifully over Baby. This is going to be your more Barbie pink. This I wear for any kind of like deeper red shade. You can put it on very lightly and it just kind of gives you a pigment of color, a slight tint, and you can kind of load it on there with a lip pencil, and you have this really deep berry color. And then if you want just a little bit of a metallic sheen, I also put this gloss just a little bit on top on my wedding day, which was glazed. It does kind of seem like a glazed donut, yeah. Another new brand at Sephora is Merit Beauty, and I got their lip oils, which is actually what I'm wearing instead of the LAWLESS one, because I was like, I'm gonna do this, but I think I've shared and expressed my love for Lawless enough with you. I really like this lip oil. I think it's really pretty on. Once again, really nourishing, like your lips but better. It doesn't look like you're wearing thick lipstick. It doesn't feel like you're wearing thick lipstick. Just a really nice gloss oil that's also nourishing and feels hydrating, and it doesn't feel like super sticky. So I definitely recommend these, and it comes in a lot of beautiful colors. All right, we're gonna zip through a couple of the products that I don't personally think are worth it that I got, and they were just kind of a big thumbs down from me. So let's jump into those. The Milk Brow Pen was awful. I have nothing kind to say about this. I love Milk makeup. I just have nothing redeeming about this product. It's awful. Next, my second one, oh god, I'm so sorry, Milk, is this Milk Makeup setting powder, loose setting powder. This does the exact opposite that my, that the Lawless one did. This just sat on top of the skin. It would just bunch up and you could see where the powder stopped, and I just didn't like that. I believe that Robert Welsh also mentioned that he hates this product. It's got this weird piece of mesh on the top. You know, I'm not even gonna open it. It's like everywhere. It doesn't... It's just not for me. It's no. I feel bad about this one because I really like this brand, but I did not care for the LIS cream blush. I don't know how to explain it, but the texture of it is kind of weird. I don't like putting a brush into it. I feel like it has more of the texture of a lip balm, like a chapstick. I don't think it applies as well to, at least to my cheeks. I don't like it. I just didn't like it. Sorry. My last two are gonna be the Wander Beauty Mile High Club mascara and the Merit mascara. If you're someone who's always wearing falsies and you just want like a little something, or you just want your eyelashes to have a color, like a black coating on them, I guess they're fine. As far as volume, curl, all that, these just did absolutely nothing for me. This one actually has a pretty good rating right now on Sephora, and I truly don't know why, so I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. I've tried it several different ways, and I just feel like it's super thin, and I just didn't care for it. Alright, so let's talk about what's in my Sephora cart right now that I'm going to be buying. As far as makeup goes, first on my list is the Kosas Cloud Set Baked Setting and Smoothing Talc-Free Vegan Powder. So I've been looking at another pressed formula, and I've been hearing really good things about this. I have heard that there's the slightest sheen to it, so if your goal is completely mattified, this is probably not the product for you. But what I think will be good is if there's a small sheen, is to put this under the eyes, because the sheen will kind of have a reflective quality about it, and I'm hoping maybe that'll set my Kosas concealer really well, because a lot of times if you stick within the same brand for these things, they are formulated to work really well together. I've heard really mixed reviews, and so let's see if we can be a tiebreaker. So Kosas also had kind of this out of the blue 3-part launch recently, which is all eyebrow products, which I was not expecting. I'm not the biggest fan of Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's not that it's not great, it's just everyone has them, and I really want to find kind of those more niche brands that are really clean and have amazing ethics. So the fact that Kosas now has the Brow Pop Clean Dual Action Defining Eyebrow Pencil, as well as their Air Brow Clear and Clean Lifting Treatment Eyebrow Gel with Lamination Effect. I've been looking into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze, but I'd really rather give the chance to Kosas and see if it's any comparison and kind of a dupe. Even though the price is probably around the same, I just would rather support something like Kosas. And then my last item is the Say Dew Blush Liquid Cheek Blush in the color Poppy. I feel like this is a color that I don't have in my arsenal yet, and I'm just really into lots of cream products because I do like a little bit more of that dewy look. I want it to even just satin, and I like the way that cream products sit on my face. So I'm on the search for the best cream blush, even though I've already really loved the Kosas and I've already loved the Ilia. Let's see if this Say is any better. All right, I think we've done everything. I think that's everything. That's everything. We did it. I hope you guys have a happy time shopping. Let's go do this. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.